to a science class. In our previous lecture, students, we have completed our respiratory system and I have explained you different part of respiratory system which takes place in the process of respiration. And before that we have discussed that what is respiration and how respiration is essential in our body. I have told you the oxidation of glucose, in which we have done different pathways by which glucose oxidize and give different products in presence or in absence of oxygen. After that we have done respiratory system, and I have explained you that in our respiratory system the alveoli, they play a very important role. What happen whenever these alveoli are the site for exchange of oxygen as well as carbon dioxide? They provide the surface area for exchange of gases. Okay, and these alveoli, we can say, they are having the walls which contain an extensive network of blood vessels. Blood vessels, we know that through which the blood flows. So whenever we breathe, our rims, they lift up and the diaphragm flattened, and then the chest cavity become larger as a result. Because of this, the air is sucked inside the lungs and fill, and the expanded alveoli, okay, contain oxygen, and the blood brings carbon dioxide from the rest of the body, which are released by the site that is called alveoli. Or in other word, we can say alveoli are the place where oxygen is taken in inside the body and carbon dioxide is thrown out from the body. Okay, so whenever the body size of an organism is large, like we people, we all are multicellular. I have discussed earlier also that the diffusion process will not work, for the diffusion pressure is not so much that which can deliver the oxygen from our lungs to other part of the plant. So therefore we require a respiratory pigment that take up oxygen from air in the lungs and carry it to the tissues which are deficient. Deficient means which are having lack of oxygen. Okay, so in human being we have a respiratory pigment. We should be thankful to the hemoglobin that it is present in the blood. And do you know that it have very high affinity for oxygen? Very high affinity for oxygen means the attraction is very high in of glucose of this hemoglobin with our blood vessels. Okay, this pigment is usually present in our red blood cells, or we can say it is usually present in red blood corpuscles. As we know that carbon dioxide is more soluble in water than oxygen, therefore it mostly transported in dissolved form in with our blood. So all these things we have done in our respiratory system, that how the respiratory system make the process easier from lungs to different part of the body. It supply oxygen and it take away carbon dioxide from the cells and throw out from our body. And you will be surprised to know that this alveolar sac have so much surface. If we spread them out, then it cover almost 80 meter square area, which is very high meter square area. And whenever there is exchange of gas, then it have some residual volume also inside our lungs. And if we are dependent on diffusion for our oxygen exchange, then do you know that it will take almost 3 years for a molecule of oxygen to get from our lungs to our toes. So we should be glad that we were having hemoglobin inside our blood. Okay, or we can say hemoglobin is a red color pigment which is present in our red blood corpuscles. So let us do question answers. What advantage over an aquatic organism? Aquatic organism means the organisms which are living inside the water. So he is asking that what advantage this terrestrial organism have over aquatic animals. You know that we all are considered to be terrestrial organisms. It is, isn't it? So in terrestrial organism, we have the directly supply of oxygen from air, whereas the aquatic organism have to take oxygen from dissolved form. You know that in water the oxygen is present in the dissolved form. So aquatic organism have to increase the rate of breathing more faster as compared to terrestrial organism. Now what are the three different ways? Different waves we have discussed. You have to draw the flow chart and discuss all the three possibilities: in presence of oxygen, in absence of oxygen, and in lack of oxygen, how glucose oxidized to give different product. Then question number 3, how is oxygen and carbon dioxide gas transported in human being? This oxygen and carbon dioxide transported in human being with the help of respiratory system. You all have to explain the respiratory system, how the diffusion will not work, and how the lungs, and in lungs we have special organ that is called alveoli which are responsible for exchange of gas. Means in this question you have to explain your respiratory system. Then question number 4, how are the lungs designed in human being to maximize the area of exchange of gases? We know that in our lungs we have a special organ that is called alveoli which provide the maximum area for exchange of gases. Now comes the turn of transportation. Transportation in human being, can you tell that what transportation will be done in human beings? There are so many things are to be transported with our blood, and we know that the blood help us to transport food, oxygen, waste material inside our body. And we know that blood is a connective tissue. Connective tissue, why? Since it connects different parts of our body by one another. Blood consists of a fluid that is called plasma, in which all the cells are suspended. RBC, WBC and platelets are suspended in this plasma. If we see that plasma don't have any particular color, we can say plasma is colorless fluid. But we see the color of blood red, that is due to the presence of hemoglobin in it. So we can say that the plasma transport food, carbon dioxide and nitrogenous waste in dissolved form. Okay, and even oxygen is carried out by these RBCs, and many other salts and important minerals are also transported by this process. So in our body transportation matters a lot, and it will be a very harm if this network is damaged by how. Okay, so in our next video we are going to discuss how this transportation process is held in our body. Till then, if you have any doubt, you may ask me in your live classes. So till then, I think up to here each and everything is clear to you all. Thank you. Have a nice day.